Welcome to our story today, the night they came with their girlfriends. I hope you've subscribed to this channel, a faceless channel that is focused on Moro English stories. I knew something was wrong. The night my husband came home with his friends. He had been acting different for weeks, but I didn't know what it was until that evening. His calculated moves, his stolen glances, his trudging movements were not him at all. He walked in through the door, laughing like he used to, his eyes shining. But something in the way he looked at me made me feel uneasy. I was about 5 months pregnant at the time, and all I wanted was peace, the serenity that one demands for the body, spirit, and humanity. I didn't want any stress, any noise. But that night, when his friends showed up at the door, I knew my life was about to change forever. I felt it was about to go down. They weren't just his friends anymore. They were force, an oppressive force that suffocated, and I had no idea how strong this grip on him had become. There were 5 of them, always together, always laughing and making noise like they were up to something I did not want to experience. They had been like brothers for as long as I could remember. When I met my husband, Tunde, I thought it was just a group of boys having fun. It was at this classic restaurant, and they sat like a clan, partying and showing off to the world who they were. They did not even feel how much embarrassed I was to stand before them and be introduced as part of the crew. Whatever it meant by the word crew. But when we got married, I realized how far their influence stretched. I didn't think much of it. Boys will be boys, right? But that night, I saw the truth that I had been scared of all that while. It was late in the evening when Tunde came in wearing a tight shirt that clung to his chest, jeans that looked too fancy for the village, and sneakers so clean they almost glowed in the dark. His friends, all dressed in a mix of flashy clothes and sunglasses, walked in behind him like they owned the place. One had his shirt unbuttoned halfway down his chest, showing off a gold chain. Another wore a cape that was tilted just so, as if he was in a music video. They all smelled of collagen and something else I couldn't place. Tunde's friends sat on the couch, making themselves at home, while I stood frozen at the door. They didn't even greet me properly. Instead of them, Simi slapped Tunde on the back and said, "You are lucky to have this one, my guy. Let's go get a few cold ones." I watched them, feeling my stomach twist. I was already tired from a long day, and the smell of alcohol and perfume in the room made me feel dizzy. But the real shock came when they said it. "Tonight we're having a party. We brought our girlfriends with us. You don't mind, do you?" Tunde's voice was light, but there was something in it that I didn't like. It felt like a warning, not a question. I stared at him. "What do you mean?" I asked, even though I already knew the answer. Simi laughed, looking over at me with a grin. We're having a sweet switch party, exchanging girls. It will be fun. I felt my heart sink. I felt my heart sink. This wasn't the man I married. My Tunde had always been respectful, kind, someone I trusted. But now, he stood there looking at me as if he had no idea how this was making me feel. As if it was all a joke. No, I said, my voice shaking. I don't want that. I'm pregnant, Tunde. This isn't the life I want for our family. But his friends weren't listening. They were already opening fridge, pulling out beer and whiskey, laughing as they joked about the fun they were going to have. They acted as if this was normal, as if bringing their girlfriends over and pretending like we were in some sort of club was just part of life. The girlfriends arrived shortly after. Women, both dressed in tight clothes and heavy makeup. I must have made out that one of them was pregnant, looking like they belonged in the city, not village girls like the many I saw around. They didn't greet me, just walked past me with a wave, as if they already owned the place. I felt trapped, like I didn't even exist in my own house. Tunde, seeing my discomfort, just shrugged. Come on, baby. Don't be like that. Just like little fun. Used to be cool. Let's just enjoy tonight. But I wasn't cool. I was a wife, a mother to be, and this wasn't a party. It was a nightmare. The night got worse. The night got worse than I expected. Everything was hell. They played loud music. The music that was not good to my ears. Drank too much and talked about wild things, like driving fast on the highway. And having fun, and even keeping snakes as pets, or tigers for pets. You should get one for those pythons. Get some of those pythons, Tunde. Simi said, grinning. It will make you look cool, just like us. Remember I got my tiger recently? I felt sick to my stomach. A python in our house? What kind of madness was this? Then they started stripping. Yes. Stripping. And what would... Then they started stripping. Yes, stripping. Only one by one. They took off their shirts, their shoes. They danced naked in the living room, laughing like it was the most normal thing in the world. Tunde joined them. For the first time, I didn't recognize him. This wasn't the man I had married. This wasn't the man I trusted. The worst part came when the clock struck midnight, and I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my bag and went outside to have some air. The cool night felt like a slap to my face. I couldn't breathe in the house anymore. That is when the villagers started coming. They had seen the lights, heard the music and grown curious. A few of the older men, the ones who still held onto our traditions, came to the door. "Is everything all right here?" one of them asked, his voice firm. I nodded, though I didn't feel all right at all. The men looked at Tunde's friends, then back at me, their faces hardening. They knew what was going on. They weren't afraid to speak up.